What's up, YouTube? Right now, I want to bring to light that the cover of Men's Fitness Australia is the first men's fitness magazine to have a woman, that's right, a woman on the cover of the magazine. What unicorn, pray tell, am I talking about? Everybody's favorite mixed martial arts fighter right now, Rhonda Rousey, has beat out men again in a male-oriented space. She was given the dubious honor of being on the Men's Fitness magazine. Now, for many reasons, I'm pretty sure a lot of our fathers and grandfathers are rolling in their graves. It is quite apparent that it's not okay to be a man in 2015 and moving forward in the history of humankind. I was going to say mankind, but that might trigger somebody listening. The sad part about this whole thing is that women are taking to this and congratulating her. Of course, they're empowering other women and young girls to be able to break the ceiling on a male-dominated world. Now, I'm all for equality in the sense that men and women should be able to work the same jobs and get paid the same amount. It's naturally fair. Treat everyone the same. I totally am totally for that. Feminism, on the other hand, is clearly about upsetting the balance that a man and a woman should have, and they want to see women dominate men completely. Right now, there's a hashtag circulating on Twitter and other social media, and I think it's hashtag masculinity so fragile. And this is a feminist way of saying that anytime a woman does anything that a man can do, and then apparently inherently does it better, men everywhere become offended and show weakness, simply by saying, what would a woman know about being a man? Hence, what would a woman know about male's fitness when she's a woman? Everybody knows that between Mgtow and feminists, the most, I would say, butthurt group is the feminists. They whine and complain and browbeat you until you just say, you know what, let's just let them have their way. They're never going to stop talking. They're never going to stop exposing their misshaped bodies. They won't stop. They'll just keep going until you cave in. Now, in this case, I don't believe that anyone's actually caving in. I'm pretty much certain that the magazine, Men's Fitness, which is owned by a publishing company by the name of American Media, they own the rights to really, really great literature. I think we've all heard of the National Enquirer, the Star, the Globe, the National Examiner, and also another one, Soap Opera Digest. We've heard of all these. We've all seen them. When you're checking out at the grocery store, you're bombarded with these shitty magazines that spread nothing but lies and rumors about pop culture and I guess what we're supposed to consider important media figures. So it's no surprise to me that this Men's Fitness, also Muscle and Fitness, is owned under American media, and these magazines are gynocentric at heart. They do not have a male's perspective at heart. They clearly don't. If they can put a woman on the cover of this magazine and then go on to tell us that Ronda Rousey is the new measure of success and that she can actually somehow make a man tougher, it clearly shows that they're misguided and they are trying to perpetuate the dysfunction between men and women in today. So right now, guys, I'm not sure what to say about all this. She has, of course, and the magazine has some supporters. Reactions to the announcement was mixed when they said they were going to put her on the cover. I got an article here from BuzzFeed where they cover quickly. It's nothing too great of a read. It's just a quick little thing. If you give me a second, I'll just read this out for you guys. UFC's women's bantamweight champion Ronda Rousey is on this month's edition of Australian Men's Fitness, and she's the first woman to do so. Right there, the writer Brad Esposito, he's already building you up for what he believes is something amazing. He goes on to say, the movie star, former Olympian, and absolute badass, features in a special fight edition of the magazine, which is also has an online interview component that has been partially shared on the magazine's Facebook page. So Brad over at BuzzFeed Australia, Mr. Esposito, considers her to be an absolute badass and goes on to let us know that she's in the fight edition. So again, I'm a guy, a young 20-something. I'm looking for the Men's Fitness magazine, and I see Ronda Rousey on it. So subconsciously, my mind's like, there's no way there's going to be a woman on the cover of my men's magazine, so I keep looking. Come to find out, I was wrong. I wasn't being trolled. This is legit. A woman is now on the cover of a man's mag. And she is on the fight edition, which men and women aren't supposed to be fighting, but apparently she can give a guy a tip or two on how to knock out another guy. Okay, that's really good. He goes on to write that reactions to the announcement was mixed, with many applauding the magazine for the decision. He goes on to say, however, some weren't as pleased, with many upset that a woman was appearing on a magazine for men. Some of the more notable comments: questionable appearance for a men's fitness magazine. Let's see. Another person wrote, Ronda Rousey, best women's cage fighter in the world. Ronda Rousey, still far inferior to even the worst male cage fighter in the world. Then there's one guy. I think he hits it pretty close, but then he has a little, I think, gynocentrism in here. He says, UFC buys a front cover. Should be ashamed. The very first woman to be put on a magazine is not Australian. Wow. Every hear of Michelle Jenke, or was that Jenke? Yeah, Jenke. Maybe she's the only Australian woman who's good at sport. Very low point of view on your own people. Way to build a hype for the fight in the Etihad. Gotta sell out those seats, and majority of ticket sales go to men. So that guy, even though he suffers from being browbeaten by feminists and gynocentrism, he realized that this is just a ploy to sell more magazines. American media That's all they're known for. These men's magazines, these fitness magazines, cannot be taken seriously. They're just trying to sell UFC tickets, pay-per-view, and again, man, it's at our expense. The guy that made the comment that I just read was correct in saying that they're just trying to put more money in their pockets. Dana White, he's taken the UFC, which was dying, and has now revitalized it by putting a female spearhead. This is cold, calculated attack on men's character, attack on manlyhood, attack on masculinity. There's a war going on out there, guys, that no man is safe from. You got to remember, keep your head up, stay protected. Snarky out.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You'll never have the sacred stone.
Oh, this you crazy mother.